everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Fix and Modify Golf Carts. Plan today is we're going to install this DC drop-down converter. What this is going to do is it's going to take my 36 volts from my batteries and drop it down to 12 volts to run my gauges up here and my lights and everything like that. We're also going to install this battery monitor, which is going to be awesome because we can watch the battery the whole time we're driving on our next run. So everything here is going in the dash here, so let's get to it. All right, so I pulled the screw from this side. I'm gonna pull this screw. That loosens us up here. Okay, so this is bringing in 12 volts now. We're gonna switch this to 36 volts coming out of this one. So this is our positives. One hook. This one and this one. Leave these wire nuts on place so I don't lose what I'm doing here. I just wired nut a lot of this stuff because I'm changing stuff all the time. Obviously you can put better connectors on all this than a permanent setup. Now we gotta figure out where this wants to be. Okay, we ended up putting the DC drop-down converter here, and I didn't film it because it was such a pain in the butt. I thought it'd save you guys the pain of watching me do it. I had to drill a hole with this, and I had to take this little teeny screwdriver and this little teeny wrench and get in there and tighten it all on there. But it's there now, so now we got to wire it. I'm putting my DC drop-down converter right here. The reason why is because I'm putting in a 36 volt battery gauge, and so I need the 36 volts up into here anyways, and so I put the converter up in here, but you could put it in your battery box if you wanted. Okay, first we're going to wire up the 12 volt side, which is these two wires. The yellow is your positive 112 volt. Move this in a little bit. So we need this positive. There's another positive here somewhere. We need this positive. Take these two, wire them together with your power supply. This runs the lights and everything. Take these ones. Should have our positive. Now let's find our negative. Okay. Give it all these. This one. Like I said, there's obviously better ways to do this. I'm just using wire nuts because I'm always changing stuff. Okay, that gets the 12 volt side done. So I've got the 38 volts coming from the battery going into the 38 volt side of the DC drop down converter. Add this extra wire here because this is what's going to go to our battery gauge. So these three wires need to be together. Okay, there's now our negative side. Negative. Got an additional black wire. I'm using heavier wire than I need to go to my battery gauge, just because it's actually easier to crimp and everything for me. And I have lots of it. Okay, that's that. Right, here's the battery monitor we're going to install. I'm going to put it right here. This is where the headlight switch was, the original one. I guess it wouldn't be original, it'd be an aftermarket one, but when I got the golf cart, that's where it was. I cut out a cardboard template here to put over that hole, and I'm just going to trace that, and then we'll cut that hole. Voila! I love that. Okay, let's pop some wires on that bad boy. Okay, so this battery monitor came with all these little connectors, and I'm starting to regret my choice of using fatter wires. These wires are too fat. Okay, we've got to find some thicker wires. Okay, so I took that thicker wire off of here and put this thinner one on. But this wire here actually came off of one of my burned out V-Glides, and it's already got a connector on it, so bonus. There's your negative. Negative goes here, negative's hooked up. So this positive, we're going to switch it out as well. Just gotta love working in tight places. Alright, positive. Snip that off shorter. Strip that bad boy. Okay, so this is one of the ones it came with. We want to see if we get this cover on here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm just gonna put these on here. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, so what we've got going on here is this is your positive here, hooking this up. Then this one is if you want this to only be on when your ignition is on. then you will hook your ignition to this side. But I am just hooking both of them to the same positive because I've got solar panels on here and I got tons of power. I don't care. I have stuff on it on all the time. Okay, that should be hooked up. We'll put these little screws in it. Alright, drill these holes. So it came with these screws for mounting it. It's got a little nut to go on the other side. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that in there though. Hope this holds it good enough. Seems to hold pretty good. Okay, this back together. Should be all wired up right. There's only one way to tell. Hook her up. What we're doing here is we're taking this wire, because this is hooked to the positive side of this battery. So this is how the 12 volt works on these. You're only hooked to two batteries, two 6-volt batteries, and gives you your 12 volts. We pulled this fuse out, and that's how I cut the power for the front when we was working on that. So this negative is hooked to this side of this smart shunt, so I can measure the power going through it. We just got to hook this positive side onto the 36 volt positive instead of just 12. So add a length of wire to this. Add this here. Fortunately, we got to add it with all of those over there. Got a lot of wires coming in here because I've got power for the shunt. I've got power coming in from the solar panels. I've got power going over to my switch to cool the motor. What's one more wire? Eventually I'm going to put some bus bars in here because I've got so much stuff going on. When I switch to, I'm hoping to go to 48, now I'm going to put a bus bars in here to power other stuff. So that should be good. Up this fuse in and hope nothing goes wrong. There's a spark, but the fuse is good still. Oh, we're good. At 12.1 volts. Okay, battery monitor is working. We got full charge batteries. Like you can see here, I don't know if the camera's gonna show it. No, it's freaking out, but it says 12, even 12 volts, 12.0. Now we're gonna turn on headlights. Still 12 volts. Backup lights, cab lights. That's the ignition there, but that doesn't go through this gang box. 7.9 with everything on. Yeah, it's taking our 12 volts and drop it right down. Here's another thing we got to do here is plug in our speedometer. Nice thing about this gang box is it's got the USB ports. That's of course gonna freak out too. You can't see that, but it's zero. It's lit up good. On our last run, our batteries got so dead that this quit working and we lost our speedometer. So I'm hoping with this DC drop down converter, when the batteries get real low, we'll still have enough power to power our speedometer. There we go. Good successful install. Okay, all put back together. This golf cart's ready for another distance test. It's always fun to put a little more gadgets in it for each test so we can monitor stuff a little bit more. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.